And it starts now! We are just getting settled into the studio. The quick turnaround still is taking me a little bit of time. But you talk to Danny Marang, you talk to Patrick Harris. There's just such engaging guys. Bonus hour today. Tomorrow, Joe Fish will be in. I'm not 100% sure. Have you heard notes on who is here on Thursday?
Me and Stevie Brackett's are running
it. Yes. All right. Stevie Brackett's in with lowercase. What chair are you sitting in?
I'm going to sit in this one.
Okay.
And then next week,
okay.
I'm going to sit in that one.
All right. Well, Friday's a maybe. I might. We're waiting on some timing and things. So I might be here next Friday, but I'll be back in on the 6th. But if I'm not here, it's you and Mr. Brackett's.
Yes, sir.
Is it Stevie Brackett's or is it Stevie Fire?
I think it's both. I think it's whatever we're feeling. I think it's right now it's Stevie Fire because we're in the fire season.
Okay.
Come football season, we might have a new nickname.
All right. Well, we'll see what that turns into. Yesterday, we had a couple guests. Today, we do it again. We're trying to get guests all summer. The bonus hour on 105.1, on 1080, on 1051thefan.com, Odyssey.com. It's on YouTube. All the different ways to get it will go up until August 1st when Duck Insider returns. So if you're here for Duck Insider, too bad. If you're here to talk about the Portland Cascade or you want to talk baseball, let's go. A great friend of mine, one of my favorite people in all of this world, a frequent guest on The Sinner and the Saint, especially during the summer. You, Jen Ellis, work here for Odyssey. You work for the Hillsboro Hops.
I do.
You now work for the Portland Cascade.
I do. That is correct.
But you are most famous for helping me convert Will Darkins into a baseball fan.
Correct.
So for that, I want to thank you. He became an Orioles fan. They had a great year out the gate, and they have been
terrible
since.
Yeah.
So it's one of my favorite things.
That's awesome.
In all of the world. How are you? Your summer is about to get busier.
Well, yes, it has been super busy. I'm pretty much busy from now until the end of the summer. So that's a good thing, though.
Yeah.
So the Hops and the Portland Cascade. This is my announcement, my official announcement.
Oh.
I'll be a PA announcer for the Portland Cascade for 7 games. They have 12 home games at the Ron Tonkin Field. It's not Ron Tonkin Field anymore, but the old Hops
Stadium.
Yes, the old one.
And you're still with the Hops.
Yes, still with the Hops.
Jason Swigart hasn't been here recently.
No,
he's in Italia.
He is gone. I am doing PA tonight and tomorrow night.
There you go.
So come on out to the Hops game to hear my lovely voice on the...
There you go. Do you have a favorite Hops player to announce?
Well, there is a guy named Jacques Josefa, who is from Curacao, who is one of the newer players that just got called up to the Hops.
I gave you the opportunity to say it as if you're doing PA. I mean,
yes.
I don't want to embarrass you, but you need to do the full PA
Now
voice.
batting, number 22, Kaysen Cunningham.
Well, no, Jacques. I want to hear Jacques.
Jacques Josefa.
Yes.
There
Now
go.
we're talking. You're a little out of
That's it.
practice.
Yeah.
I know it's been a while since we've had you in, so we have to get you back into the rhythm of it. How are the Hops doing this year? It seems like they're pretty entertaining.
Well, the first half was pretty disappointing for the Hops.
Okay.
So if you don't know, a minor league split into 2 halves. The first half was won by the Eugene Emeralds in a landslide. I mean, they just ran away with it right at the beginning. They kicked some butt.
Can I tell you what I got for my birthday present on Sunday that I was very excited about?
What?
And Casey, you'll appreciate this because I don't think I told you. I got a new Exploding Whales shirt.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
Wow, that's
I'm
awesome.
so excited about
I think that's
that.
probably the only thing affiliated with the Giants that I'd ever wear is an exploding whale.
Well, yes.
As a long time, I mean, I grew up a Dodgers fan. I'm never
Yeah.
going to root for the Giants, you know?
Sure. No, nor should you.
No, exactly.
But your team now is the Athletics.
Correct. Yeah.
Little Blue
Yes,
Jays.
I have been following the Blue Jays since I got to work for their minor league team during the COVID season. The Vancouver Canadians played their entire home season at Hillsboro Ballpark back then in 2021.
Yeah.
So they gave me my first shot at doing PA. I've been following the Blue Jays ever since, and some of those guys that were on that team made it to the big leagues. A couple of those guys are on the regular roster and were in the World Series
What's the
last
biggest
year.
name that we would recognize?
Well, Davis Schneider and Addison Barger made big impacts in the World Series.
Addison Barger had one of the
God.
wilder stories, if you were watching the World Series or just paid attention throughout the playoffs last year. He changed his stance like midway through like the opening series last year,
Yeah.
and then just went on absolute
Absolute
fire.
tear. Yeah, exactly.
And he killed the Mariners. I hate that guy.
Yeah,
but I'm glad that
But
you
I
get to
love
see him
Addie.
go through.
I feel like a proud auntie. I'm like, oh, Addison Barger, oh, David Schneider, my
yeah.
boys. But real quick, I just have to bring this in because we
You've
are
got plenty
talking
of,
about.
You've got plenty of time. We're
Okay.
going to sit here
Well,
and talk for the next
But
half hour.
since
or
you
so.
mentioned it, there is a guy that was in the Northwest League, and he has made the rounds significantly since then. Most recently, just yesterday, was added to the Seattle Mariners roster.
Oh.
His name, Clifton Lewis Kennedy, otherwise known as Buddy Kennedy.
Yeah.
He was on the Hillsboro Hops, made his major league debut in 2022.
Yeah.
So he was with Arizona in 22 and 23. Detroit in 2024,
Yeah.
Philadelphia in 24 and 25, Toronto in 25, Los Angeles Dodgers in 25, San Francisco Giants in 26,
okay.
and now the Seattle Mariners.
But
So
more-
7 teams, but since we mentioned the World Series, last year he played for both Toronto and the Dodgers at some point during the series. So no matter which team won, he was going to get a ring.
So he has a
He has a
ring?
World Series ring.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. More importantly, can he hit left-handed pitching? Okay.
We'll find out.
Well, then I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Anyway.
He's a right-handed batting infielder. Rob Refsnyder was put
Yes.
on the IL, and I need
As
somebody that can
soon
hit
as-
right-handed
yeah.
pitching.
As
So
soon as Rough Snyder comes back up, Buddy Kennedy's going to get.
Hey, either
he's
way,
going to be out on
I-
his 8th team.
I
so.
saw the signing. I did not see any numbers attached to
No.
it. They just need
Exactly.
depth because who knows?
And that's what he's been. He's been that guy to fill that hole when someone goes down for an injury. He goes in and then he gets immediately traded or designated.
So let's go back to hops.
Yes.
The Eugene
Yeah.
Emeralds won the
first
half,
half, yeah.
and the hops are. Is this the first year they're in the new ballpark, right?
This is the first year in the new ballpark.
Okay.
It is beautiful. It's a gorgeous new ballpark.
When did the second half start?
It just started like last week. So let's see here. I'm just trying to look at the what do you call it? The standings for the second half. Yeah, because I think the second half already so far, the Hops are in the lead. Which
Yeah, they went
is
off.
a good thing.
I know they've
Yeah.
been on a little tear last week. The other thing I know is that Cascade have been on a tear and just swept their way
Yes.
through Texas, which is great. So we can do a little compare and contrast.
Right.
So the Hops new stadium. What do you think of the new stadium? Because you do a little bit of everything.
Yes.
For the Hops.
And everybody at the Hops pretty much wears multiple hats. So
Sure.
if one person is
Except
doing
Swag.
well, yeah.
Okay, obviously.
He only does one thing.
Obviously.
He can't do anything else.
Sure.
No. Yeah, it is a beautiful ballpark. A lot of visitors who are from, the other teams are, definitely singing its praises, what a beautiful park it is. It's more of almost like a AAA park.
Very cool.
So if something happens and we end up getting a AAA team around these parts, it might be in that ballpark. But we'll see. We'll see what happens there. A lot of scouts, baseball scouts, have been in our press box where we work. So I've been getting to know a lot of the scouts from the Dodgers, the Padres. I mean, a bunch of guys come in from all teams. There was a guy from the Cincinnati Reds the other day. He was like, "Oh man, you did so good on PA." And I was like, "Tell the Cincinnati Reds,
Amen.
tell a big league team."
Yeah.
But
let's get one of those here. That'd be cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
that would be awesome. I would
Yeah.
love it. So yeah, that's kind of what's been going on at the Hops. And right now in the second half, the Hops are in the lead.
There you go.
6-3 record, I think, right now. So,
Nice.
So that's pretty good.
Let's talk professional softball.
Yes.
I don't know much about this. First of all, I can't figure out why it's Athletes Unlimited Softball League. So
Right.
is that like
Yeah.
a part of a bigger
Yes.
organization? Do they play other sports that I should know about?
I don't know if there are
very
other sports.
strange.
I'm pretty sure it's all just softball.
Okay,
But
all right.
this will be, I guess this is the second year of the AUS,
full league.
the full league.
Okay.
And the Portland Cascade is a expansion team that was added this year.
Okay, so it's an expansion team in a 2-year-old league, so it's
Right.
not like they're coming out of nowhere, but it looks like they've been really good so far. They've only
Yes.
played one home series. What's
Correct.
the reception been for the softball
Oh
team?
man! So the first 3 games at the old Hops
yep.
Hillsboro Hops ballpark, I haven't seen anything like it. In 7 years working with the Hops, I haven't seen anything like this.
Yeah?
The energy is just unmatched. buy anything. The opening night game was completely sold out. We were walking around the ballpark the whole game, and the crowd gets so into it. And the players are on the top step of the dugout, and they are cheering on their teammates, and they're cheering and they're chanting.
Well, if anybody has ever been to a softball game, the teams know how to put together some cheers.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
Exactly. So they're leading the chants with the crowd,
Very
and they're
cool.
going Cascade, Cascade. Chanting with the crowd. Everybody gets into it. The on-field MC tells the crowd, when the Cascade hit a home run, as soon as they walk over the home plate, we go, do the ASL signing for Cascade,
yeah.
and then kind of swoosh down and go whoosh, and the whole crowd did it in one try. Like as soon as there was a home run,
Boom.
everybody
Ready to
did
go?
it,
All right.
and they only had to teach it to him once.
Well, look
I mean, it was
look at
amazing.
that.
It was
so,
amazing.
So not only are they louder and more enthusiastic than Hop fans, they're a lot smarter too.
Well, I mean,
what
you said it.
I did say it.
I don't know the IQ of the, of the
Well,
average
I mean,
fan.
it sounds. Listen,
Yeah.
you try to teach a
Yeah.
baseball crowd a chant in one try.
No,
that ain't
they
happening.
still haven't gotten it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still trying to get them to say certain chants at the Hops that they
Totally,
can't seem
and
to
you've been
get,
doing
but-
this for years.
Seven.
So we'll just say that they're smarter.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants to go and bring the family out and catch a Cascade game and get into the energy that is out there, because I might take the girls out there.
Yeah,
I've got
they would
a
love
cousin. You'll remember. I don't know if you remember this, but I am a fast pitch girls softball champion from
Yes.
back in the day. So if they want to go, when are the next games and that you'll be doing the PA for?
They are going to be back in town on July 7th.
Okay.
So the series, they don't always play like 3 in a row.
Yeah.
It'll be like 2 in a row, then there'll be a day off, and then there'll be 3 more. And so the schedule is kind of a little bit, separated out like that, but definitely going to be back on the 7th of July. That's when I'm going to be doing PA. That week they have a few games, I think the 8th and then the 10th, 11th, and 12th.
Love it.
But yeah, definitely look up their schedule, Portland Cascade, theausl.com.
Yeah.
There's so much information about the 6 teams that are in existence, which is really cool. I didn't even know that there was a professional softball league. I feel so horrible for even saying that. I feel like I'm a traitor to women's sports.
But
for not knowing.
in fairness, did you play softball in high
did
school?
not.
Why
I
not?
didn't.
Why not? Why not?
Because my grades weren't good enough.
Okay, well, hey, listen. Then we can't. So there's 2 things: you didn't play softball, and you didn't try that hard. So
Right, exactly.
pretty obvious that you wouldn't know. So forgive yourself. Let's not beat ourselves up about it. There's a surge of women's sports going on in Portland, and the fans are 100% behind it. I was at the first Fire game, and the atmosphere was awesome. Thorns games, I understand, are just as awesome, and it sounds like the Cascade are off to a fantastic start. So
I know. It's
very
incredible. Cool. I haven't been to a Fire game yet. My wife did go to the opening night, and she said the energy was absolutely incredible.
It was ridiculous.
And she said it was more fun than watching a Trailblazers game.
Well,
so, I mean, that was, some people say it.
I don't. I don't remember the last time I had that much energy at a Blazers game when I went to that first game.
Wow.
So I will say that I'm with you. So you just mentioned that you did not know that there was a professional softball because you're a huge baseball fan. There are some stories in baseball we need to discuss. Can we do that next?
Sure. Let's do it.
Fantastic. Let's make a little run around Major League Baseball. We'll do it next. My great friend Jen Ellis, the PA announcer,
the everything
for the Hops, PA announcer for the new Portland Cascade. We will do that next. It is Happy Hour Bonus Hour on 105.1 The Fan. We will talk some basketball. There's been some moves around the NBA, including your Portland Trail Blazers making a little extension on somebody that we expected not to be back. At least that's what the story said yesterday, so we'll catch you up on all of that later. We'll bring Casey into the conversation for that. But right now we're talking with Jen Ellis.
Hey.
She is the PA announcer for the new Portland Cascade.
Yes.
She is the Swiss Army knife for the Hillsboro Hops.
Yes.
And is actually doing PA while our own Jason Swigard is out.
That's right.
And you always do a few games every year
Yes.
for the Hops anyway. So if you ever go out to a Hops game and you are friends with Jen Ellis, that is the person to find because she knows everybody.
Yes.
And knows it all. You wanted to bring up one more Hops to Major League Baseball
Yes.
connection that we were talking about
I know,
earlier?
yeah, because a lot of people will be like, what? I'm hesitant to go cheer on a team that all the guys are just going to get called up and I'm not going to see them anymore. But the thing that I find really fun is that we get to be a part of their journey. If they do
For sure.
get called up, it's like, hey, I remember cheering for that guy. That guy was in the Hops last year.
Yeah.
You know, like Ryan Waldschmidt, I got to give it to Swag. He was the one who called it on Media Day last year. He said, this guy has got everything to put it all together and get to the big leagues. And he did. He was on the Hops opening day roster last year, and he made it to the big leagues this year. So, but one guy that you may not realize was on the Hillsboro Hops is Seattle Mariners' Dom Canzone.
I did not realize that. I mean, I
Yeah.
do love me
Hey,
some
so-
Dom Canzone.
Dominica Canzone.
He's having a
So-
breakout year right now, and the only thing that is a kind of a bummer about that, I think he might be your best guy to trade because he's so
Yeah.
young and so good. You need to go out and you need to improve the roster, and which means probably giving up some big leaguers. But,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about that, but
I think he was involved with the in the trade that went Seawald from
it was.
Mariners to
Yep. That's the way
D-backs.
the way that I understand it.
Yeah.
Yep,
So sometimes we'll be sitting there at a Hops game. We'll be like, I wonder, like, how often, like, some guys from the Northwest League will meet up again, facing each other
Yeah.
or as teammates in the big leagues. So the other day, the Mariners were in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Slade Ciccone was the starting pitcher for the Cleveland
Guardians.
Guardians.
They're the
I was about to
Guardians.
say that-
No,
sorry.
no, yep. Don't say that.
Don't
God,
say
we'll
that word.
Get
Don't
us
say
kicked
the I.
off the air.
No, but the Hops are playing the Spokane Indians tonight. Anyway, so the Mariners.
That
were,
one's okay.
Right. Mariners were in Cleveland. Slade Ciccone was the starting pitcher for Cleveland, and he used to be on the Hillsboro Hops as well.
Well, there you go. Yeah,
So,
there's
yeah.
the
So that
Guardians
was like
have
the-
called up 9 guys already this year. I
Yeah.
was trying to figure out if I could find who's called up the most, but what I found was I think it was 2020, which is the COVID year, anyways.
right.
But the Pirates called up 22 guys in one
Dang,
season.
Seriously,
So,
yeah.
it's
but yeah,
it's wild.
Canzone faced off against Slade Ciccone, and I don't know if he hit a home run or a triple or something crazy like that. But it's like they're facing. They were old teammates on the Hillsboro Hops, you know, just a couple years ago.
So if you need a reason to go out and watch the Hillsboro Hops, first of all, this is the week to do it because Swag is not there.
Yeah, my voice is gonna be on.
And the other reason is, you never know when guys are going to be called up and,
Yeah.
and make it to the big leagues. You mentioned earlier in the first segment that you grew up a Dodgers fan, and then at some point you abandoned your allegiance to the evil empire and you became an A's fan. We don't need to go through that whole transition.
Don't know if I abandoned it
You did.
altogether.
Shh, you abandoned it.
I just didn't.
You abandoned it. You got to watch something yesterday between the Dodgers and the Athletics.
Yes.
That to me is just one of the funnier coincidences and stranger things that has ever happened. We had 2 Luis Castillos on the Mariners last year. There was Luis Castillo and Luis F. Castillo.
Right.
But this is nothing like what happened in this game. I'll let you take it over from there. Is that a good enough setup?
Sure. Well, I believe you're talking about Max Muncy.
Of course I'm talking about Max Muncy and Max Muncy.
Yes. And I mean, like, what an awkward, like, why are there 2 Max Muncys in the world?
Yeah, well,
What?
and so here...
And they're both born on the same day, but not the same year, but they have the same birthday. They were both drafted by the A's. They're both third basemen.
12 years apart. So the Dodgers, Max Muncy, is 12 years old. This other kid is born, no relation, no family connection, no nothing. They name him Max Muncy. Of course, it's not after some 12-year-old playing baseball in a flyover state or wherever the original Max Muncy is from. They decide to give him the same name, and here the A's are however many years later, because how long has it been since OG Max came up with the Dodgers, and now they're facing off. They both hit and played third base in the same inning.
Yeah.
Max Muncy was put out by Max Muncy at
I
one
believe
point
so.
during the
Max
game.
Muncy hits a grounder to Max Muncy and lines out to Max Muncy. Yeah, all the things.
How does this work?
Weird.
One of your favorite games to play, I know, is when the postseason starts. The Athletics are usually not participants, so you play the fun game of where all of the former Athletics are. How much have you enjoyed watching Max Muncy, the original, be great with the Dodgers? Because he was almost out of baseball.
Well, he got DFA'd by the A's. And guess what else? Back to the World Series last year, both third basemen in the World Series were DFA'd by the A's. Ernie Clement and Max Muncy. They were both DFA'd by the A's.
It's the little twists of fate and the way that the Athletics play into it. The A's are so much fun to watch.
Yes,
their
really
pitching
are.
stinks, but their lineup, holy cow.
Yes, they're good.
Are they going to stay good? Do we expect them? Like, what is going on? So they're not going to play in Vegas until 27, 28. 27.
28 maybe, yeah.
So, okay, so they've got a couple years.
Sure.
Do they have the same ownership that they had, and they're going to keep making the same stupid decisions,
Probably.
even though they're going to be playing in a glass palace on the Strip?
Probably. Yeah, it was always like, well, we need to invest in the
Casey, can you check and see when they're
stadium versus, it's like they're not going to invest in players while they're at this crappy dump of the Oakland Coliseum. And it's like, but... So does that mean that you're going to start investing in players now that they're moving to, like you said, a glass palace? We'll see. I don't know. It's every A's fan is always hesitant to think, oh, that guy's going to be here for a long time, because none of them ever are.
Yeah.
It's like...
No, it's you watch the A's and go, man, I'd like to have that guy, and he's going to be available soon.
Yes, he will
I mean,
be.
Mason Miller throwing 107 miles an hour, whatever the hell he
know.
tops out at in San Diego is not a ton of fun for A's fans. But,
I know. It's like, oh, gosh, yeah.
But this lineup, I mean, Jacob Wilson was an all-star last year. The emergence of your first baseman,
Nick Kurtz.
Kurtz,
He was the rookie of the year.
Big Amish.
He was the rookie of the year. Yeah, it is Big Amish.
So the entire lineup just has these studs all over the place. Are you going to stick with them when they're in Vegas?
I still follow them, obviously.
Sure.
I mean, I'm still a fan of the players. I love Mark Kotze, their skipper. I mean, I was a big fan of him when he was playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'll always follow them, but I'm never going to wear a Sacramento A's or Las Vegas A's anything.
That's what I thought.
I will just wear Athletics or Oakland Athletics, but never Vegas and never Sacramento.
Okay.
So that's just me. I have no connection, no ties to those cities. So it's like, well, I mean, it's hard when your team goes away. It's like, what do we do? We don't have a team now.
It's an ugly thing, and it's kind of a bummer. Speaking of ugly things, did you find
Yeah, it's the 2028 season.
It is the
28,
2028 season.
Yeah.
Speaking of ugly things, the Mets have had one of the worst seasons compared to expectations ever. Did you happen to catch what they did to start off the game yesterday
Yes.
against the Blue Jays?
I actually did. I
Casey,
was
did you
watching
see this?
it. Yeah, I was watching
Go ahead and
it.
pull up George Springer's at bat, first at bat of the game.
I don't
against
think
the
it was
Mets.
the first pitch, but
No,
it
wasn't. But it was the
definitely
first at bat
for
yes,
sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I do want to get Casey caught up on this. What is wrong with the Mets? Why can they not figure it out?
I have no idea. And you know what? It's so funny because at the beginning of the season, I posted on my Instagram, I said, the season hasn't even started, but I'm going to make a bold prediction that the New York Mets are the best looking team in all of baseball. And I have, Marcus Semien, Freddie Peralta, all these guys are hot. Sean Manaea, gorgeous. These guys are gorgeous. So they're beautiful, but they can't play a
Maybe
lick.
that's a problem.
I cursed them by saying they were the most good looking team in all of baseball.
I kind of like that, but we just talked about Max Muncy. I don't know. I can't picture the new Max Muncy in my head.
I'm just watching this in real time.
Yeah.
Oh my!
Seriously, right?
The Soto is bad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you describe it to our listeners for anybody that hasn't seen it because Jen and I had both seen it.
Multiple times.
So who's their center fielder?
Ewing, what is his name?
EJ, RJ, something Ewing.
Yeah.
He's a new kid. He just
AJ Ewing. AJ.
So again, George Springer hits a base hit out to left field.
Just over the shortstop.
Juan
Little
Soto's
looper,
out
yeah.
in left field, kind of misjudges it, thinks that he can, run in on it, make a play on it, stops. It takes a funky hop, gets past him.
Not even that funky of a hop. It was just so poorly played.
Now here comes the center fielder who's backing up the play. AJ
Ewing
is his name. Well, the second that he picks the ball up, he picks it up with the glove. Well,
Yeah, he does.
that's one of the worst rules in baseball. If you have a dead stop ball,
Oh, yeah.
you never pick it up with your glove.
Yeah.
You barehand that bad boy and you throw it in.
Yeah.
He picks it up with his glove, and what happens?
He flips it to the
flings it,
corner of left field.
and there goes George Springer.
Little
Off to
League,
the races,
Little
yes.
League home run to start the game. What was the final score in that? 2-1.
Yep.
So it's not the winning run, but it is the deciding
Yes.
margin in the game. Oh my God, I love the Mets. I'm gonna take a little break to go to Alaska, and then next week I don't know what we have for the show, so you and I might not get to talk. I want to talk a little bit about the All-Star game. We have at least one name for the home run derby. The whole weekend to me is always just it's the one league that still has their All-Star game and their All-Star festivities as a celebration of the game at the midway point where it feels fun.
Yes.
So we'll talk about that, but first we'll go over to Casey with a SportsCenter update.
Sorry?
No,
This-
you don't apologize.
First on the Fan. Sorry, this SportsCenter update is brought to you by Laurelhurst Market Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. A great spot for any occasion. Don't forget, you save 10% on your Butcher Shop order when you dine in. Menus and more at laurelhurstmarket.com. All right, I need a little help with this one.
I'm here for you.
First on the Fan, Serena Williams is absolutely crushing it in Wimbledon
Ooh,
right
she
now.
lost the first set. That's all I saw. I joked to Patrick that I was going to shut off the World Cup and put on Wimbledon. I am intrigued by this. So she's wiping them up.
Again, I completely turned off World Cup for the day.
I love it.
I'll come back after Serena. But Serena, she won the second set.
Okay.
And they are in a third set.
What's
and
it-
They are all tied. I believe.
She's playing an Aussie named Joint.
Yeah,
I can't
Maya
remember-
Joint
Maya,
is her name.
Maya Joint.
Well, right now,
Can-
Maya
can you
Joint
pass
has
me
the
Maya Joint?
advantage. Yeah, they're
All right.
going back and forth right now.
What
so
is it on? I'm switching over. What do we have? Mexico, Ecuador?
over on ESPN right now.
Pass.
And again, Maya Joint has the advantage. We're in a rally right now. But it looks like, well, that one's out, and we are back at 40-40 love. Serena has a chance to take this third set and win. her first
Serena
round
has
at Wimbledon.
more singles championships than this opponent has years on the planet. She has played tennis and won more tennis matches in the entire time this woman has been alive than she has had birthdays. So yes, we are all in on Serena. I will be switching over now. Thank you.
And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at WarrenAllen.com.
The Fan is live on YouTube.
Casey, eventually we'll get to the top 100 players in your countdown. It might be today, it might be next week. We need to talk about what the Blazers did. We've got a lot to get to. I've got Wimbledon on now. Serena is up 2-1 in the third set here against Maya Joint. So we're watching that right now.
I've got my list ready for you.
Okay, well, if we get to it next, we'll figure it out. So I was just told by our guest Jen Ellis that you were actually a ball girl once upon a time.
I was. It was at the Lipton tennis match in Miami, Florida, in the '80s, late '80s. It was when. Oh God, what's her name? Is it Jennifer Capriati?
Yeah, that sounds like a real name.
Like 13.
That sounds like a real.
That sounds like
player.
a real name. I think she was like 13.
Okay.
At the time, wasn't she like one of the younger players? Yeah. So
that's why I
must have
remember
been her.
Because she came up, was huge, and then faded from the
Right,
scene. 'cause
exactly.
Wasn't
Some
ready
stuff.
for the fame
Yeah,
and
something
the
like
whatnot.
that.
Yeah, if
But
that's how I remember
yeah,
it. We'll have Casey check on that.
At that time,
check our work since our minds are deteriorating.
She did step away from the sport in the mid-90s due to
Yes.
burnout and personal struggle.
there you go.
Look at
That's
that.
right.
Returned to
Hey,
tour
you were
in
right.
2001 and 2002.
Okay. All right. Look
Well,
at that.
back then in the 80s, in the maybe 86 or so, 87, I can't remember what year, but she was too young to be a ball girl. But she was playing in the tennis match.
So you were older than
I was
her.
older than she was.
Oh,
yes.
that's fantastic.
I was on one court where Andre Agassi, when he had the hair.
Yes. Have you read
And-
his book?
No.
Oh, it's very, very good. If you get the chance to read
yeah.
Open, I think it's called
Yeah.
Open.
Okay.
Very, very good. It's
It was.
he's very candid about a lot of things, including the hair.
The hair.
Oh,
hair.
yeah.
Oh,
I
man.
mean, yeah.
That hair.
Yep.
But yeah, he something happened. I think he was maybe his sponsor was Nike, perhaps, and something happened where he scuffed his shoes during the game. Or during the match. So when the match was over, he took those scuffed shoes off and he threw them in the trash can that was right there at the edge of the court. And 5 ball girls and ball boys darted towards this thing to try to grab these shoes out of the thing. I was just like, it's not worth it. I'm not going
Yeah.
to get hurt trying to get a pair of scuffed shoes.
Hey, Jen, how'd you get that giant scar on your face? Well, I was running after a pair of shoes.
Andre
that-
Agassi,
yeah.
dirty scuffed shoes that didn't even have his autograph on it.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
You said in the
I
break
was,
that it was
yeah.
the Lipton Championship.
The
I thought
Lipton
it.
tennis
Yeah, I
match,
thought
yeah.
it was. I thought it was a whole nothing burger. But Andre Agassi,
No, there were a
Jennifer
lot of people
Capriati.
there. Yeah, a lot of the
I'm
famous
glad I
players
made
back
you tell
then.
me the story.
Yeah. And on the way there, my dad's car broke down, and I mean I was too young to drive, so we had to call a cab to take me to, and my dad was totally terrified to put his daughter into a cab with a strange.
Sent you off.
You're like, okay, and this is before cell phones. You don't know, you can't track them, see where
Yeah.
they are. He was so scared.
Hey, Jen,
I
how'd
was
you
like,
get
"Dad,
that
it's okay."
scar on your face? Oh, I got put into a cab. Wait.
But you can't see it really.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, you don't
anyway,
have- you
I'll
don't-
tell you that
you don't-
story later. It's from the day I was born. It's 52 years old. Get
Okay. All right. Let's talk a little bit about the All-Star game. So we talked about your fandom. So you went Dodgers as a kid, Oakland A's for most of your adult life,
Yes.
but you
Yeah,
are a
Toronto Blue Jays.
former employee of the Vancouver Canadians, and now the Blue Jays have a spot in your heart, which I'm telling
Lots of
you,
reasons.
you made a trip to Toronto last year, but for a team to go from what they were at the end of last year, where they keep everybody except for Bo Bichette, really, I think, and you expect them to come out of the gates, they have been terrible. But
Yeah.
Ernie Clement is the leading vote getter
Yeah.
for third baseman right now.
Yeah, I think he's second
ba-
base this year.
baseman,
Yeah.
in the American League, which Cole Young is playing a lot better, but he's
Well.
not getting any votes. So Ernie had one of the great finishes to a season, the postseason run that he had on more hits than anybody in postseason
Ever.
history, passing Randy Arozarena, who didn't do anything in last year's postseason, but we don't need to get into that.
well, yeah.
Randy Arozarena having a great start to this year.
Yeah.
Is it fair for Canada to go and stuff the ballot box for a run that was outstanding last year? Do you think the All-Star voting should be from the end of All-Star weekend last year until the start of it this year? Or how would you vote?
I know you asked me that earlier, and I feel like I personally would want to just look at what they're doing this year, but it does make sense to look at it from the end of All-Star break last year to right now, which includes the postseason, which of course Clement was amazing.
Yeah.
And like you said, the entire country of Canada is stuffing the ballot box for him, and Vladdy as well too. But
and Vladdy's not having a great start to the year.
yeah,
But again,
I
it's if you
know.
do
That's the thing.
if the idea is to make it, a celebration of the best players in baseball, there is kind of a annual cycle to all of this. So
Sure.
I think I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
There was a conversation we were having in the break, so I'm trying to abbreviate it here a little bit. But yeah, I think you and I have both landed on the same thing.
Yeah.
Go Blue Jays. You had a great run last
Yeah.
year, and if you keep playing like this, you won't be back there next year. So
Right, yeah.
we can move on from that. Do you have a favorite event for All-Star Weekend?
Oh gosh, the home run derby is always fun to watch, but the game, I always liked the game when they would wear their own jerseys rather than like the All-Star team, the National League team jersey and the American League team. Those don't always turn out great, and they
Usually
it's
do
like
not.
Usually kind of crappy.
Yep.
But I feel like, remember when they used to do, this wasn't involved in the All-Star weekend, but like when they used to do like the players weekend and they would have their nicknames on the back of their jerseys and stuff. I always thought that was fun. But that might be something fun to like incorporate into the All-Star weekend where they have a game or like like an exhibition game where they get to wear their jerseys with their nicknames on the back. I always thought that was fun.
Well, I'll tell you, if you have an idea for baseball or any sport to make more money by printing more jerseys people can buy, I think they're up for
They're
it.
going to do it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, it was been an absolute pleasure
Thank you for
to
having
talk
me.
a little tennis with you, to talk very much baseball. If you want to go and check out the Portland Cascade, they are back in town on July 7th. If you can make it out to a Hops game tonight, tomorrow night, and through the weekend, you are doing the PA announcing
I'll be the
for
PA
that.
announcer tonight and tomorrow
So,
for the Hops.
Yeah, go check out my great friend Jen Ellis doing the PA announcing for baseball, softball, and pickleball. Any pickleball?
No,
not yet.
not
yet.
pickleball. I do like to eat pickles though. But
Okay, well,
I've
there you
never
go.
played pickleball.
All right. Well, we've got that for you. Do you want to stick around and compare your notes on the top 100 NFL players with Casey?
What's NFL?
Yeah,
You
okay.
misspelled.
Okay.
You misspelled
Okay.
baseball.
Okay, Jen, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Go Cascade.
We are going to finally get Casey caught up on the top 100 players. They're releasing 2 players every day, Monday through Friday, until we get to the NFL season. We will do that next. You're listening to Bonus Hour of Happy Hour on 105.1 and the Fan Sports Network.
The Fan.
Are you calling yourself a biracial angel? Is that what? Are you dropping drops on your own brand? Is that what you're trying to pull there, Lowcase?
I think I am.
All right. Well, you've been promising our listeners for a couple days that you will give your breakdown of the current top 100 players. So the way this works, ladies and gentlemen, is the NFL players are voting on who they think are the best 100 players. They do this every year. Last year it was Saquon Barkley. Year before that, Tyreek Hill. They're going to go through this. And you challenged yourself to see how your list would compare to theirs, because the first 6 names on that list, or whatever it was we did the other day, did not match what you were doing. I think it was the first 8 that we did the other day. So
First 10.
Did we do the whole 10?
We did
No, we
100
did not.
through 91.
We did not, because we didn't have it, because we did it on Thursday. So we did not know
Well, you had me check
that
in on
Aziz
Friday.
Al-Shahir and Montez Sweat were number 92 and 91. So are we good with both of those selections in that spot? I know you're
I think
a little...
I think Al-Shahir should be a lot lower on the list.
And when you say lower, I always want to make sure.
I mean, he should be
102?
No, I think he should be
A lot higher on the list.
higher on the list.
Yeah.
Probably in the 60s and 70s.
Okay. So you were going through. So what got you thinking on this was Ernest Jones sitting at 97. I just clicked off of that half of the list because, of course, the NFL puts it
97.
in chunks of 10. You said, and your initial response was, there's no way that there should be that many people. Then you went through position groups. Where are you standing on Ernest Jones? Because he's the guy that kicked this whole thing off.
I've got 15 linebackers better than Ernest Jones.
So probably in the right spot.
Roughly.
Your initial response is 97, but dude, you go through DBs and linebackers, defensive tackles, offensive linemen are going to fall in there somewhere because there's guys trying to run through dudes that have a lot of respect for the shield that is in front of the quarterback. So it's not all quarterbacks. If fans were voting, it would be the top 30 quarterbacks, then it would be position players and a handful of those guys sprinkled in. You would never see an offensive lineman. So it makes it a little bit more challenging. All right, so let's go beyond that. So we will go what we have so far. We have 90 through 87 have been announced. So, defensive tackle, Carolina Panthers, Derek Brown. 17 games last year, 73 tackles, 5 for loss, 5 sacks, and a forced fumble. How do we feel about Derek Brown at number 90?
I had him at 88.
All right, look at you, man. Not too bad. So, appropriately rated. Do you want to add any color or context to that?
No, that's one where I had him take a look at I had him 10th on the list of defensive tackles.
Okay.
So that's pretty properly rated.
All right, there you go. Kyron Williams, running back, Los Angeles Rams, 12,000 yards last year, 4.8 per carry, 10 rushing touchdowns, 36 receptions for another 281 and 3 receiving touchdowns. Versatile back, was able to kind of be the bell cow, I would say, for a team that was right there with the Seahawks, where a lot of people thought that NFC Championship game was for the actual Lombardi Trophy. You with that?
Kind of with that. I had him a little bit higher on the list, but again, lower on the list, as we want to say. A more value.
Let's just, for the visual, we'll make it very clear. If you're looking at a list, 1 is at the top, 100 is at the bottom. So we will say lower. We'll just get on the same nomenclature or vernacular or whatever the big smart-sounding word is to describe. Numbers go down on the page.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I had him at 79.
70. Ooh, okay. So he's a little too low for your taste. How many running backs do you have ahead of him? This is my curiosity with the way that you're building the list. I do appreciate it.
14.
All right. So okay.
No, I'm sorry. I had 12.
12 ahead of him. Okay, so I think this might be a little bit more in line. Running backs, remember, a position that
Correction,
doesn't...
11. I'm sorry. Because
Okay.
Because of the Travis Etienne. Sorry, Achane.
Yeah, that's right. He is Achane now. He is no longer ETN, which is very confusing for Donovan Achane, who actually, it's whatever. We don't need to get into that. So feels like it's probably a little bit more appropriately rated because it's hard to know how many running backs are going to be on this list. Because running back, I mean, when I was growing up, that was a premier position. If you had a Terrell Davis or you had a Sean Alexander, they were dragging you to the Super Bowl. And the only reason Sean Alexander didn't get it, he ran up to Fast Willie Parker. And did you know that Jerome Bettis is from Detroit?
I did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so did everybody else that watched any second of footage leading up to the Super Bowl in Detroit. We get it. Jack Campbell is one of those linebackers that is listed by the NFL players ahead of Ernest Jones. Do you have him anywhere near 88 on your list?
I actually had Jack Campbell a lot higher in terms of where he ranks in terms of linebackers, but I actually put him at 83 is where I had him. But I had him a little higher up in terms of where he ranked in the sake of linebackers.
176 tackles, 9 for loss, 5 sacks, and 2 fumble recoveries. How do you value sacks for the linebacker position compared to, because that was one of the things with Ernest Jones,
yeah,
half
so
a
again,
sack.
A lot of that has to do with, well, Ernest Jones, had a great D-line in front of him.
Yep.
So what
are you asking them to do?
You look at solo tackles and you look at how he was able to turn the ball over. And, well, Ernest Jones was second in the league in interceptions. I believe he had 5. And Jack Campbell, well, they didn't have a great D-line. Their D-line was broken all year. So a guy that had 160 tackles, that's going to get you a lot of value.
I have no faith in my pronunciation of Tetaroa McMillan.
Nailed it.
I did. Okay. That's what I had in my head, but for some reason I thought it was wrong. So Tetaroa is 17 games, 70 receptions, 1,014 receiving yards, 14 yards per reception, 7 receiving touchdowns. Rookie last year?
Yep.
Pretty nice debut,
Out of
and
Arizona.
a big part of the emergence of Bryce Young, especially down the stretch. Bryce Young didn't start the year great, but finished it a lot stronger, and McMillan was a big reason why. He is listed at 87.
I had him as the 11th wide receiver on the list. I had him at 89.
Okay.
So again, right
there,
right about where I.
So
where I
your
thought.
list is looking pretty accurate. We're gonna have
start to make me feel pretty good.
Yeah. We'll have to give you some plus minus points on all of this, but I think if you get the guys in the same region, if you're within, if you're within 5
and 10, I think that's about where I want to be.
We put you in within 5. I think we give you lose no points, and if you have it within 10, maybe we take a point off. We'll see how you do on this thing.
I think that's fair.
So far, so good. Are you sticking with it? Because the other day you hadn't completed your list. Is it done?
I completed it this morning.
Okay.
It's official.
Is Matthew Stafford still your number 1?
Amen to that.
Okay.
You know why I say that too?
Because he's MVP.
No, because again, what happened with Sean McVay? The first time a quarterback had a good season,
got rid of him.
He got rid of him.
Took you to a Super Bowl. He's like, get out.
Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford have very similar, I guess I'd say, careers now that you look at it, because
they'll reverse.
What did Sean McVay go and do differently in this draft that he didn't do with Jared Goff?
He got the heir apparent?
He got the heir apparent and let the heir apparent know.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
That this is still his team. It wasn't a Jared Goff situation where he kind of just sprung that on Jared, where it's, well, you're going to be traded and we're going to go get Matthew Stafford.
The craziest thing about Stafford is, do you recall the conversation about Stafford going into the start of the regular season last year?
Can he still do it?
It was his back injury. He was getting epidurals to go out there and play. Not only could he do it from he's 38 or whatever the age was, his back was the big story, and all he did was go out and win his first MVP and get within a dog's breath of going to the Super Bowl. So It's pretty interesting how much a single year has changed things, and he's going to be protected all offseason. He's going to do the absolute bare minimum to get through all of the OTAs, training camp, and get ready for the regular season. The Rams are taking the same approach they tend to. Let's go out and get the absolute best players we can and pretend this is the one shot we have to go out and win it. Other teams taking different approaches. This one might be the scariest iteration of the Rams that I have seen, but who knows if it'll work? I cannot wait to see it. We'll see if your list is right. We'll continue to go through this. This will obviously be a lot quicker if we can hit it day by day, but this week, it's our last show, so we'll pick it up on Monday, and we'll get you the 8 names that will be added to this list between now and then, and we'll see how smart Casey is. Play along at home if you want. The home version of the game, of course, available at Odyssey.com. We will get into the regular shenanigans of Happy Hour at 105. We'll get ready for that next. You're listening to 105.1 The Fan.
Les Schwab. Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on The Fan, the Time Lord is back. Trailblazers center Robert Williams III has agreed to sign a 3-year, $44 million contract extension to remain with Portland through the 2028-29 season. Williams averaged 6.7 boards and 1.5 blocks on the season while shooting over 70% from the floor in a clutch bench role for the Blazers. Some more NBA news for you as the LA Clippers are nearing an agreement to trade all-NBA forward Kawhi Leonard to the Toronto Raptors for Brandon Ingram, Grady Dick, 2 unprotected first-round picks, 1 pick swap, and 2 second-round picks. Over to the World Cup as we have 3 more matches out of the round of 32 today. Ivory Coast and Norway kicked off things at 10 a.m. this morning as Norway took the victory 2-1. At 2 p.m., Kylian Mbappe and France will take on Sweden. And wrapping up our World Cup matches for the day is Mexico as they go head-to-head with Ecuador inside Estadio Azteca in Mexico City at 6 p.m. Your U.S. men's national team is back in action tomorrow night as they will face off against Bosnia and Herzegovina at 5 p.m. for their first match of the knockout stage. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Lowercase from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at WarrenAllen.com.
This is the
Hey, happy Asteroid Day, all you beautiful radio listeners. Thank you for dropping in for our little happy hour. Hope you enjoyed the bonus hour. We appreciate you listening. If you're watching us on YouTube, here's a hand gesture just for you. You're welcome. YouTubers, feel free to hit us up on the chat if you're listening on the radio through 105.1 FM, 1080 AM, online at 1051thefan.com, Odyssey.com, the Odyssey app, or you asked your smart speaker, did Serena win? And this is what you got. Use the fan text line. It's 503-2GO-FAN. That's 503-864-6326. Use it. Use the text line. Use the chat. Share your thought. Ask questions. Solicit advice. Or answer me this, dear listeners. You've had 24 hours. How do we feel about Ja? Lowercase, not only have you had a day to think on this, I feel like you probably listened to The Firm today. How do you feel about the news that we got yesterday? Ja Morant is a Blazer.
Ja! I'm happy.
We got to react to it in real time. Want to change any of your assessment on it?
No, I think I'm sticking to it. I like the move. I don't think it's the last move that we make this offseason. And I think it's going to be a really excitable basketball.
Excitable. I like that. That is the answer. I do want to answer that question that you guys asked your smart speakers. Serena did not win. Maya Joint took the third set, and Serena's Wimbledon dream is over, except for she's already fulfilled it like 27 times. So she's won Wimbledon 7 times. She's going to be fine.
Again, but shout out Maya Joint snapping an 11-tour losing streak.
Shout out to Serena not being afraid to go out there and lose in the first round to some unheralded Australian who will now have a story to tell for the rest of her life. So the whole thing, fantastic. That's what sports are about. You can't be afraid to lose if you want to go out and win. And she just gave a gift to tennis fans and to this young lady that had been not so great as of late, but that is pretty awesome. Here's what I was thinking about with Ja Morant. What wins in the NBA? What do you need? What must you have? What is a key ingredient in every recipe for a winning basketball team in the NBA?
Efficient scoring?
You got to have stars. You need star players. The problem with getting star players is they don't move all that often, and when they do, provided the team actually makes them available, you have to give up a whole lot to get them, unless you're Nico Harrison and you're just going to hand them over to the Lakers, in which case, we're not the Lakers. You need to get stars. You need to figure out a way to do it. Damian Lillard and Ja Morant are not in the same situation, but they're in a similar situation. They have both been stars in this league.
They've also both come from small schools.
That's true. But they are also at a point in their career where we have no idea what we're getting next season. So you've got two guys like that. You've got two guys on the other end of the spectrum that play the same position in Scoot Henderson and Shaedon Sharpe, who have shown very small flashes that they might have the potential to one day be something that you could call a star. I have no idea what you have with all of those guys. Why not put as many chances as you possibly can out there? I know that you don't want to fill a roster entirely with small guards. I get that. but you need to find stars. I don't care if they're 6'2" like Jalen Brunson or 7'4" like Victor Wembanyama. That was as good a 5-game final series as I've ever seen because both teams were led by stars. One stepped up in the big moment, Jalen Brunson.
Is Jalen
And one
Brunson a
did not.
star because he stepped up, or was he?
Oh, he was a star before. When he left Dallas, that was big news, but he became a star in the last few years that he's been in Dallas. I don't think there's any question, or been in New York.
I
don't
just
think
want to
there's any
think that's because that's New York's guy, and New York's always going to hoist up their guy.
He's pretty good. I mean, who else is the star on that team?
Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, but he has not been there for that entire run. They went and added a second star to it. Is Denny Advia a star moving forward? He was an all-star. Can he get up into the next stratosphere and be an all-NBA guy? I have no idea. But what you need to do is you need to have as many irons in the fire as possible. Ja Morant is one more of those. Here's another thing that I was thinking. Right now, we've got an arena that needs to get a renovation. This has to give more faith to the city council that the Blazers really care about the politics. How is that the move? Oh, come on, these Blazers. They don't care about anything except for themselves. Let's go get a guy that's been suspended twice for putting guns up on Instagram. You want that fight to go the right way? This might not be the right move. Those are the two thoughts that I had on that move. Is if you already have people that don't think the Blazers are the most important thing in the city, you've got to fight for it. This might be a misstep. If you're
I think that's apples and oranges.
I think it's, no pun intended, I think it's ammo for the people that are shooting against the Blazers. Okay, maybe the pun was intended. I did two of them in there. It's not the best look. If you want to pick apart the Blazers roster and go, do any of these guys want to be in Portland, or are they just here because there's an NBA team? Just a thought. These are just two things that came to me that we didn't discuss yesterday. Will they end up coming to fruition? I have no idea. You know, I don't know anything, and I know that I don't know anything. That's the fun in sports, is we will have some resolution at the end of this. Do we get the arena fixed up? Do we get that $600 million? I don't know. I'll be optimistic that we will. I think they have to figure it out. But
the Blazers are playing in Portland next year.
Do I think Ja Morant helps any of that? Not sure. Is Ja Morant capable of returning to the caliber of player he was before the last 3 years where he only played 79 games? I don't
know that yet either.
Can Dame come back from an Achilles and be great? I don't know. Can Shaedon Sharpe figure it out and decide that he wants to be the guy? No idea. Is Scoot Henderson going to stay healthy enough to fulfill the potential that he had when he played for the G League Ignite and actually beat Victor Wembanyama in the game that they blah, blah, blah. I've got no idea. But you need to find stars. And this is one step in that direction. So I am good with that. Here's the other thing that I don't like to do on this show, and you and I have talked about this several times. I don't like to listen to any of the rumors, because what was the rumor that was floated out yesterday? Well, if there's one player the Blazers won't be re-signing after getting Ja Morant, that is
Time Lord.
And who just signed with the Blazers today?
Robert Williams III has gotten a nice little extension.
Does that actually mean that he will stay in Portland? No idea. No idea. Time Lord is back. Great nickname, by the way. Love that. He's back for now. That's what we know about the Portland Trail Blazers. That's where we are.
Are you happy with the two moves that were made?
I mean, in theory, yes. Do I think that they're done? Probably not. But being done also doesn't mean that they're going to get anything else to change this roster. Being done would mean that they're not trying to do something else. Trying to do something else doesn't mean they will actually do something else. So there is potential that this could be the roster that you get when you go into the season, even though they were hoping it would be something different.
Well, yeah, you have 5 guards and
Yeah.
only so many minutes in the game. You can't play all of them all the time.
I 100% get that. But you go out there and you play all of those guys some minutes early in the game and see what they can do. We know that Mike Nori wants to play an up-tempo up-tempo style of basketball. We know that you can put 5 small-ish guys out on the floor, and it can be called the lineup of death, and it can work with a 6'8 center and a bunch of 6'5", whatever it is. So there are different ways to win in this league, but if you go out there and play the start of this season with 5 undersized guards, and you can showcase any number of those guys as potential pieces that somebody else might need, And that's what you got to do. You kind of get stuck with what you have. Options out there. Jaylen Brown still seems to be out there. He still seems to be disgruntled with Boston. Blazers probably want to make a move. Do they have more options for trade pieces? They still have all those Milwaukee picks. So if you go out there and float those out, they're not in a whole lot worse position. Jeremy Grant and Chris Murray were not the two linchpins of a move. So if they go out and do something else, that would be awesome. Jaylen Brown, also probably coveted by a lot of teams.
I just think the John Morant move is a I want to win now move.
It's we need a star move. And this guy was very low priced because he's a knucklehead and he's been hurt.
Again, you traded in $37 million for out of two players for $42 million and an open roster spot.
Yeah. The question is not do you like this move, is will you still like this move if it fails? You know what I mean?
I think that's a really good question.
And that's the way I look at it. Even if they fail, I like the effort. I like that they took this swing. And if it fails, it's probably going to fail fairly spectacularly. So it will be an entertaining ride. You take big swings. If they work, awesome. If they don't, you're probably not a middling team that has no excitement around it. If it's going to go bad and they do roll out, let's say they roll out their 5-guard lineup and Drew Holiday is the only one that plays consistent, which is, I think, a very likely scenario where Dame doesn't have that step and that burst that he used to and can't create a shot nearly as well as he used to. John Morant comes out and he's, flashing up signs and getting suspended and loud and doing all. He is the worst version of Ja that we've seen recently. And then you have Shaedon Sharpe, who is disinterested at times, and Scoot Henderson, who is unreliable at best. It's going to be a bad team. It's going to be a really bad team, which means your draft picks are probably going to be better. Milwaukee, we expect to be bad. Those draft picks, we expect to be good. So if it doesn't work, cut that guy. We'll pay out the money, figure out, we'll move this. We got this. We're now tanking. I still like that they did it.
I don't think it's the last move.
I 100% agree with you.
I think
but again,
when you put all of the moves together,
yep,
they're going to add up to the Blazers went out and made a big swing. Let's get to play some basketball.
Brandon Ingram and Grady Dick are now Clippers. Kawhi Leonard is now a Raptor. There's one move that won't happen. Not that it was going to happen. The Jaylen Brown thing's still out there. LeBron apparently not going to play with the Lakers. So you have probably not a 1 in 29 chance of getting LeBron James, but you have that wish and that hope out there floating in the magic ether of rainbows and unicorns. So you get a little hope that something else can happen. I don't know if people are going to slow down. Knowing LeBron is available as a free agent, does that have everybody hit pause and go, all right, let's assess how realistic a chance we actually have? Or does he already know where he's going?
I think column A, column B.
All of this is moving around. All of the things are on the table still. There's a long way between now and October when we're actually playing meaningful basketball. I cannot wait for the Summer League to see what the draft picks the Blazers added will do. Wait, no, never mind. Let's do some in case you missed it. In case you missed it, initial bids for the Seattle Seahawks are due today, so the sale is expected to shatter NFL records at over $9 billion, which raises a serious question. If one billionaire buys the whole team, does that mean he gets to keep the number 12 for himself? Is that? Casey, serious question. Do you think the league is actually going to consider the bid that we made for the Seattle Seahawks? I know that the presentation was great, but I'm stressed out. I mean, do you really think they're going to overlook the fact that we only managed to pull together $8.5 billion? Do you think we'll... Just feeling like we didn't do enough. In case you missed it, history was made at the World Cup when Paraguay knocked out Germany 4-3 on penalties. Soccer historians are pointing out that this is the first time in World Cup history that Germany ever lost a shootout. To be clear, this is the first time losing a penalty shootout. If we're talking about regular shootouts, Germany has a history that's a little more complicated. I think you can get into that. In case you missed it, Morocco is moving on in the World Cup to the round of 16 after dramatic penalty shootout with the Netherlands. The hero of the match was Moroccan goalkeeper Bono, who made a massive game-winning save. Honestly, I don't know what's more shocking here. The fact that I was on the edge of my seat watching soccer, or the fact that I was willing to sit through a performance by Bono. I don't know. Did you catch what I did there? The edge of my seat. Did you see? And did you see Morocco's Ismail Sabiri? Did you see this guy? This is the guy who plays professional soccer for a Dutch club, is one of the baddest dudes in that league, playing against the Dutch. He was dripping blood from a head wound at the end of the game. Instead of flopping, he's literally trying to swap out his jersey so he can keep playing. Finally, they forced him to get cleaned up, so the Moroccans play a man down in the final minutes. They get it to penalty kicks, and he has the game-winning kick. Honestly, this guy has everything it takes to be my favorite athlete. All he's missing is a real sport. That's all he needs, and he would be, like, it was great theater. In case you missed it, Mexican soccer fans organized a massive midnight serenade outside Ecuador's hotel in Mexico City to sleep deprive the opposing players ahead of their World Cup clash. A wildly hostile but completely standard Latin American soccer tradition was executed flawlessly, punishing Ecuador's team, who was already exhausted from travel delays. And no, Casey, we're not going to make a cocaine joke here. Not all South American countries produce coca on a massive scale. Just because Ecuador sits directly between Colombia and Peru, the two world's largest producers of cocaine in the world, and they're a prime spot to be a logistical hub for transitions of cartels, doesn't mean they don't sleep. How dare you? I can't believe you would have gone there. So rude. No? Too much? Too wordy?
It's long-winded.
I do what I can. In case you missed it, the Major League Baseball was shut down by the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office after trying to trademark the phrase "play ball" for apparel. The government rejected it, calling it a commonplace term that merely conveys an ordinary sentiment. Despite the setback, MLB officials say they're still holding out hope that they will get their pending trademark applications on hot dog, overpriced beer, and the Mets suck. So hopefully they will win in the next go-round. Thanks to our wonderful studio audience. We are going to do a little play-by-playback at 2:30, but next, the Mariners get a nice little win. LeBron is gone, and the Browns are still the Browns. We will do all of that in the Daily Buzz. It's next on Happy Hour. This is 105.1 The Fan.
The new home of the Portland Timbers.
Well, a wonderful outing for George Kirby. He went vintage Furious George through 8 innings, 2 home runs by Cole Young, and the Mariners get a nice 6-2 victory over the terrible Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim in Orange County. This is exactly what we were asking for from the Mariners. Just go out and win a game you should win. Don't get too excited about it, though, Mariners fans. They seem to keep doing this where they win the first game of the series and everything looks like roses ahead of them, and then they fail to win the next 2. But a very nice start. I don't know what the plan is for this piggyback, but if you have a guy that is going out there and throwing the ball hard and throwing for strikes, let them pitch through 8 innings. And it worked out very nicely last night for the M's.
The Buzz.
Speaking of the Seattle Mariners, they have adjusted the rankings on MLB Pipeline, and for only the second time since MLB Pipeline has been in existence since 2004, there is a team with 3 prospects in the top 10. Now, don't get too excited about this. One of those guys is already playing for your big league club. Colt Emerson is number 6 on this list. But jumping into the top 10, Ryan Sloan is now number 9 on this list. And ahead of Colt Emerson, who has been good at the major league level, is Cade Anderson at number 5. 3 guys in the top 10, 2 in the top 6, looking good for your Seattle Mariners, who, as far as pitching prospects, look ready to go. So maybe figure out which one of these 6 starters that you have currently with your Major League Balls club can be traded, and you can get something else to make a little playoff push, because you need to start winning some baseball games, you stupid team.
The Buzz.
All right, we move past that to the Los Angeles Lakers. Casey, I need your thoughts on this. LeBron James has informed the Los Angeles Lakers he done. He's gone. He no longer wants to be part of the Lakers organization for the 26-27 season. He will be playing elsewhere. There has been no suggestions from LeBron of where he might go, although the basketball world is all making their pleas for their team. What do you think this ends up being?
What's the funniest thing that LeBron could do?
Portland Trail Blazers?
I think it's go to Memphis.
That's actually pretty good. Charlotte would be pretty hilarious. They're offloading pieces. If he ended up playing for the Jazz, I don't know why.
Who's a team that LeBron has kicked out of the playoffs multiple times? The Wizards?
I mean, if he ended up with the Wizards, that would not be funny. It would be a last-ditch effort to watch. It reminds me, the idea of that, because that's been floated around for a couple days, it reminds me of Gary Payton and Karl Malone suiting up in a Lakers uniform. I mean, let's be honest. Over the last however many years, the Warriors have turned into the Lakers. They're from a very rich city in California. They have built a beautiful new palace to play basketball in, and they've won plenty of championships. Their colors are similar enough, too, where you're wearing yellow and blue. So all of that just reeks of the Gary Payton, Karl Malone failed experiment. You just got old guys out there trying to beat the young guys. I'm kind of okay with that idea, but it's not funny. Funny is going to one of those out. But it'd be kind of funny if he went KD and joined the Spurs. That would make me laugh. If he went back to Miami to play with Giannis, that would be kind of funny. But unless he goes to the Wizards, the Blazers, somebody that's just been terrible. And I don't know what other connections he has to cities other than going back to Cleveland, but if they re-sign Harden and he ends up there, I'm out on that.
There's always Miami.
That's what I'm saying. Playing with Giannis in Miami, playing with Bam. Oh, could you imagine Bam clearing the way so LeBron can score 85? Just getting out of the way and getting rebounds and feeding him. Your head just started to hurt. I don't know how I feel about that.
I just thought about it. That sounds pretty unwatchable.
Yeah.
The Buzz.
Do you have all the details of what happened between the Clippers? Kawhi Leonard is making his return to our neighbor to the north. He will play for the Toronto Raptors again. He said yesterday that the only team he would sign an extension with, if traded, would be the Toronto Raptors. Well, he's back. I know that Brandon Ingram and Grady Dick, which great name, by the way, will be with the Clippers. If Grady Dick goes on to be the greatest Clipper of all time, I think that would be some poetic justice. But the Clippers get what else in picks? They get a couple first rounds, swaps, something.
Yes, they received 2 unprotected first-round picks, 1 pick swap, and 2 second-rounders.
Cool.
The Buzz.
The Warriors have re-inked Kristaps Porzingis to a 2-year, $40 million deal. Is he old enough to play with... I just got to bring this up. Yesterday, I suggested names for the old version of the Golden State Warriors. The first one I threw out there, do you recall?
No. I remember...
I threw out Olden State Warriors. And I regret to say, I know that we try to entertain on this show. We try to be funny. We try to keep things light. And
I was a fan of Ben Gay by the Bay.
I like Ben Gay by the Bay, too. I just felt like it would be funny to run off of several of them. I still like Diaper Dandies. I've not seen that. But I want to apologize if anybody thought that I got the idea from a tweet by Skip Bayless. I saw it this morning. He suggested Olden State Warriors. Immediately a pit in my stomach, and I just feel bad for giving you guys the same type of humor that you could get from Skip Bayless. So please accept my apologies. I know. Hey, listen, I'm not proud of myself either. I looked at the timestamp. He may have even said it before we got to air.
You're better than that.
I just want to apologize. But notice that I did not just give you Olden State Warriors, because that would have been lazy, and that would have been bad, and that pays Skip Bayless millions of dollars, and for some reason we are just aired here in Portland. So anyways, I want to apologize for that before we move on.
The Buzz.
Finally, Ryan Grigson is back as a senior football advisor for the Browns. Now, I don't know a lot about Ryan Grigson. I believe he is one of those guys that has bounced around the league and has not really been great. I don't know if that's true. All I know is he already worked for the Browns. And the Browns going and recycling anybody in their front office seems like a terrible idea. It immediately made me think that you have a quarterback battle between Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson. You're going and recycling guys in the front office that somehow led you to a situation where you are in a quarterback battle between Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson. Browns, can you maybe think about hiring from the outside? I know you got a new coach, but you fired the guy that you fired won Coach of the Year, and you bring in Todd Monken, who gives me no faith in anything. Does he have a better record than I imagine, or am I just losing it that anytime the Browns are rehiring, it's a bad idea?
Grigson most recently was the Vikings assistant general manager
And what
in
happened?
2025. He previously served as Cleveland's senior football advisor from 2020 to 2021 and senior personnel executive in 2017.
Tell me what the Vikings did last year with their player personnel?
Didn't they also fire their...
Well, this is the guy they fired. What did Minnesota? What was their quarterback situation last year? Who did they get rid of? What did he do? Who did they keep?
He won a Super Bowl.
Who did they keep? What did he do?
9, I believe.
Okay. I looked at all this. I thought I might be losing my mind, but it feels very much like the Browns. Still very much the Browns. With that, let's walk over to the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, and we'll see what we missed.
This SportsCenter update is brought to you by 808 Hawaiian Restaurant. Makes plates like Grandma used to make if your grandma were from the Big Island. Woodstock, Burnside, Beaverton, or online at ate-oh-ate.com.
Ooh, that sounds really good.
First on the fan, per Ian Rappaport, here is a statement from Brendan Sorsby.
Okay.
There has been a lot of news about me out there, and I want to share this statement to make sure things are clear. I accept 100% responsibility for my actions. I did not have control of my gambling problem, and it took getting caught for me to realize that. But it was truly the best thing that could have happened to me because of this, I have been able to get the help I need and fully focus on my recovery. The news about the supplemental draft changes, nothing about my recovery journey. I will continue to take it one day at a time, focus on making myself better throughout this process, and making sure to share what I have learned and will continue to learn with others going forward. I am fully committed to being the best version of myself that I can be while getting ready for the 2027 draft. God makes no mistakes, and I look forward to seeing the good that is to come from this.
You know, I think that he did something really smart there. Hired somebody to write a statement for him. Finally. Very good. Okay, good job. You kind of get it. Now, shut up, go practice, and hope that the NFL lets you into the 2027 draft.
And focus on that recovery, because if you even
nope,
sniff
just
the betting line,
shut up and go away. Just okay, you got it. Whoever's running your PR wrote that for you. They did a very nice job. Now their job is to put you in a quiet
find a way to
place
disappear for a bit.
where you can just go, and if you hope you can get into next year's draft.
And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of dirt and sports.
That's my practice dog, sorry.
Ismail Sabari can win the penalty shootout for Morocco with this kick. Yes!
That was Ismail Sabari for Morocco at the final goal, but you asked me to pull this one.
Oh, yeah.
Give me the context of the setup.
I mean, the whole thing was pretty epic. So I only watched the end of the game. I'm not going to pretend that I watched the entire thing. Morocco and the Netherlands are both top 10 ranked teams. So this is actually one of those matchups where I think both sides are a little upset that they have to play this early in the round of 32, but it was apparently expected to be this kind of match. So I turned it on, and I did not know that context. So I've switched over from the Mariners game, which I'm watching without the sound on, to this game with no sound on. And it looks like Morocco is just controlling the ball, not being super aggressive. You got 1-1 there in extra time. And I couldn't figure out if both teams were just playing for PKs or what was going on. And so I'm just kind of watching it, not understanding it at all. So eventually it gets to the point where both teams are being a little bit more aggressive. So now I switch on the sound. I get the context where this is an absolute battle between two teams that are a little irritated that they already have to play. They go back and forth. You have sportsmanship. You have guys that are legitimately getting beat up, and one guy drops to the field for the Dutch, and a Moroccan player comes over, helps him stretch out his cramp, helping him up. I'm like, okay, this is pretty entertaining. Well, you get to the point where at some point the Dutch have used all of their reserves. They've got a guy at the top of the screen who is laying there, get attended to by the medical staff because he got chopped down on, I don't know, legs getting tangled up or whatever you want to call it. Some of the terms, half volley from the point, I don't know what any of that stuff means. The guy got kicked in the leg and he's laying there. The medical training staff is on the field. They're playing around him, so the Dutch are playing down a guy. I'm like, what the hell is actually going on with this? Then you see after this guy gets up and starts playing again, the Moroccan player, Sabari, comes over to the sideline. I wasn't paying enough attention to realize that they didn't have red and white polka dotted shirts, but this guy was bleeding so much that his entire jersey is completely doused in blood. He's got a big gash up by his eye and is just bleeding profusely. He takes off the jersey, throws it, tries to take another one without stopping the bleeding. I don't know that you're allowed to do that. So they have to pull him then from the game to get attended to, but they don't take him off the field because they need him to get back in there because they want him for PKs, and the Dutch get a final possession without the bleeding guy playing defense, so they make a run at it. Of course the Dutch don't score. They go into PKs. It's as dramatic as the one between Germany and Paraguay was earlier in the day, as good of tension as you can possibly put in sport. This guy gets to kick, then that guy gets to kick. I don't know what makes these guys decide when they just dive in one direction as a goalie or try to make a guess. I don't think I've ever seen a guy just kind of scoot over, and he almost went too far, stays standing, knocks one down, the goalie for Morocco, and then who comes up but Sabiri for the final kick. They've already missed a couple that give them a huge advantage, and this guy apparently plays professional soccer in the Netherlands. He's the best player in the league and has won whatever trophy, and here he goes and just calmly kicks it in for the game winner, and the whole place goes absolutely insane. I think I'm enjoying the World Cup. I hate to say it. I don't want to admit it. I can see Patrick Harris right outside of the studio. He's sitting there. I didn't want him to know about this, but I think he'll probably hear it. And it's pretty good entertainment. We've got Sweden and France on the screen right now. They're both being aggressive. And I will say, I've looked up multiple times during this game and gone, that's entertaining.
Leaping play, struck by Bowen! Cubs win! Seiya wins it!
Well, that'd be number 10. The Chicago Cubs did it again. That was Seiya Suzuki with the Chicago Cubs' 10th walk-off of the season. We're not even at the All-Star break yet. You want to know what the record for the most walk-offs in a season is?
Very much I do.
18.
Woo! Woo! They are more than halfway there.
More than halfway there, and I think they're going to do it.
I'll tell you the wild thing about the Cubs isn't just that they're doing this, but they have been good, very good, and very bad this season already. So it feels very much like this is a team that is going to put themselves in a lot of spots where they need a walk-off to get the win. This team has been bipolar. I mean, at the very least, they have been up and down. They've got multiple 10-game winning streaks. They've got a stretch where they lost like 15 out of 16 or something crazy like that. The Cubs, I don't know if they're a good team or a bad team, but it feels like everybody in the National League is better than everybody in the American League. I wouldn't be surprised, as weird as this season has been to start, if we didn't see a complete reversal of that in the next half of the year. The Phillies are a team that we've been talking a lot about lately because of what Schwarber and Bryce Harper have been doing and the way that they've been winning games with these insane comebacks. They had 3 games in a row where they needed a go-ahead home run in the 9th inning. They won all 3 of those games. So they have been crazy fun, but they started off the season as bad as a team could have with
as
the
soon
Mets.
as they fire their manager and elevate Don Mattingly, they've been a legit contender.
If you're only just paying mild attention to baseball, it's been a really fun first half of the season. If you're just paying attention to the Mariners, not so much. But baseball has been pretty wild so far. So let's go get that record, Cubbies. I say go for it.
Right below us, Mauricio Pochettino.
Maligan, can he get inside? Still Maligan, Flo Maligan!
This goal was from a few weeks ago, back when the USA took down Paraguay in the group stages. Well, the USA will play their first match of the knockout stage tomorrow at 5 p.m. as they will take on Bosnia and Herzegovina. How do we feel? You said that you were just getting excited for this World Cup.
Just got a goal from France over Sweden. They've been attacking this entire game, and they finally found the back of the net.
Than who?
Mbappe.
God, he's good.
Yeah, look at me knowing players' names and what teams they're on. I don't know how to feel about this. I'm getting very emotional about it. What is the record for the largest margin of victory in the history of the knockout round? Well, whatever it is, it's going to be broken. USA is going to crush Bosnia Herzegovina. That's what I think. Just watch out. They are going to lay it on. First time they ever scored 4 goals in a game was that opening game against Paraguay. The largest margin of victory the U.S. has ever had in a game was 3. They're not breaking U.S. records anymore. They're going to set world records in the World Cup.
The largest margin of victory in a World Cup knockout match is an 8-goal difference set when Sweden defeated Cuba in 1938.
And what was the score? Was that 8-0?
8-0.
Okay, it's 9-0. That's what I've got. Watch out. Here comes the USA.
That's all I got for you.
All right. With that, you know what? One of the things that's happening right now in the world you may not be paying attention to because the World Cup is here in the U.S., there's a big heat wave that is affecting European events. We'll tell you how it affected yodeling. We will do that next when we do one more for the road. You're listening to Happy Hour on 105.1 and the Fan Sports Network. If you missed anything from this show, past shows, future shows, find the podcast, 1051thefan.com, odyssey.com, the Odyssey app, wherever you get your podcasts. Only 601 fish through the fish counter yesterday. I know you're worried, but we're still 9,000 fish ahead of last year's count on that date. So I think we'll be okay. Casey, anything people are saying from the text line or the YouTube chats we need to address?
The Mariners 2026 slogan, at least we're not the Mets.
That's not bad. I mean, I thought I would have said the 2026 Mariners. Meh. But I'll take that. But at least we're not the Mets. Man, the Mets have been, dude, that you watching that home run to start the game yesterday might be my favorite part of the show, because Jen and I had talked about it, and I wasn't sure if you had seen it yet, so I asked you right before the segment. Watching you watch that, that defines the Mets this year.
I look at it and I go, oh,
here's Juan's
tough play from Soto. Thank God he at least still hits 300 and 20 plus jacks a year. Here comes your center fielder, where I have to ask who his name is, because that's the Mets roster this year.
You have the highest paid, or among the highest paid rosters in baseball. Here's your highest paid player coming in on a little bloop, should have been a single, completely misplays it, and exactly what you said, your no-name center fielder. How do you have a no-name center fielder when you have a $400 million payroll? He comes over and just slaps the ball into the corner of left field while George Springer runs around the bases for a Little League home run.
I have a lot of baseball pet peeves. That is one of my baseball
I could
pet
tell
peeves.
the way that
a
you
ball
describe
that is not rolling, and you pick it up with your glove. Oh,
wow! Picking it up is a
you barehanded.
Well, he didn't exactly pick it up.
You still have to make the transfer from the glove to the. You pick up the ball with your bare hand.
He just swatted it over there. That was maybe my favorite play of the day. Let's do. In Basel, Switzerland, temperatures have reached as high as 102 degrees Fahrenheit, which is putting a little bit of stress on the over 12,000 yodelers that have made it into the city's annual Yodel Festival. This is an annual event that draws nearly 200,000 spectators to go in and watch the event. Have you ever watched yodeling, lowercase?
I've seen it a few times.
Well, yodeling, you know that they wear their typical alpine garb, so their lederhosen and their large dresses, a lot of fabric on these singers. It is so hot that participants have taken to jumping into the city's dozens of fountains while they do their rehearsals. They're submerging themselves in water while they warm up for their yodeling competition. So be happy that the World Cup is not being played across Europe. We don't want to minimize the tragedy. There have been thousands of deaths across France, and it has been really, really bad. But the yodeling thing, pretty funny to imagine, if you can, yodelers sitting in fountains as they warm up their vocal cords to get ready to go out and yodel-lay-hee-hoo. So that cracked me up.
Part of me thinks that they would yodel better if they had ice on them.
Yeah, I think it's an alpine undertaking. So I pictured on the top of a mountain where it's already cold. So yeah, I would think that the cold weather would probably be part of the atmosphere that you would have around it. So 102 degrees, not exactly what you're looking for. We haven't had really any extreme weather. There was one game the other day that was really rainy, and they had a lightning delay. But other than that, the weather's been pretty good for the World Cup so far, yeah? Yeah? Well, that's all you want. The event has been awesome. I'm telling you, I'm starting to get hooked on it. The French team has the 1-0 lead at the half right now. Sweden's had some opportunities in the first half, it looked like, from watching it and hosting the show. So enjoy the World Cup, everybody. Big thank you to Jen Ellis for joining us to talk some baseball and softball. If you want to go and check out the Portland Cascade, the crowds apparently have been very rowdy, and our friend will be doing the PA announcing not only for the Cascade, but the Hops this week. So go out and check some lower level baseball or some professional softball. Thank you, lowercase. Thank you, everybody that listened. And of course, thank you, Isaac Ropp. We're all done for now. Bye-bye.